Hi guys, welcome back. It's Maxim from Fitness in Motion, and today I want to talk about posture deviation and how you can start working on it, right? So there is one small aspect that many people are missing, and this is the mobility chain, right? And if you think about it, your movement is not starting from upper body, it's actually starting from the lower body. And if you have done martial arts in your past, you know that many martial arts talking about that all the force comes from the ground and then it utilizes on top. Now if you think about this concept, you'll understand that because everything starts from the ground, then all your movement chain actually starts in the bottom, right? Now if it starts in the bottom, you need to look at what is the lowest joint where the movement starts. And if you understand that we're basically talking about the ankles. And if you think about it, many times we don't really pay attention on how our ankles are moving, and we try to fix other movement patterns, but the point is, if your ankles are not working properly and the joint is not working well, it impacts all your movement chain through the knees, to the hips, to the upper body, right? And I'll share a little bit of what happened to me in the past week. I actually had some injury on my left leg. It was super painful. I wasn't able to stand on it properly, so I'll start limping, right? And when you start limping, so you go and your weight deviation is a bit different, so your body starts getting used to it, right? So when your body adjusts to that, then you have immediately a posture deviation. And if you have a posture deviation and you try to do an action that's supposed to be as it's supposed to be, it's kind of impossible, right? So if you feel that you have some kind of posture deviation, like you can't squat deep enough, or you feel like you're always leaning sideways, or there is some different back pains that you might have, then my suggestion for you is start from the ankles and see if you're mobile enough on the ankles and that you actually optimize the movement there, right? And I want to show you a simple exercise you can do at home to mobilize kind of and stretch your tendons and mobilize your ankle joints, right? So it's pretty simple. You can take a mat if you do it at home, right? So it's very simple. You're just sitting on your knees, and I call it like a Japanese sit, right? So first of all, you have to make sure that you're able to get to a sitting position where your toes pointing backward. Okay, so you're pointing back like this, then you lift your weight up, flex your toes, and sit backward. Okay, very simple. So you're applying a little bit of a pressure here, right? Stretching your the bottom of your foot, stretching a little bit your tendon here, and then sit up, point back, and put your weight back down. This is a very simple exercise, but it's super effective on kind of working on your ankles. Now if you want to increase your range of motion a little bit, then you can start leaning a little bit backwards and stretch it even more. Here, then breathe, 2, 3, 4, 5, come up, flex your toes, up, point, sit back, okay, and again, try to relax. So you always can increase the range as far as you can go with your flexibility, how flexible you are on the quad, but basically you're trying to focus, again, on your ankles, okay? So again, come up, here, right? So the next stage, how do you check it, is if you're mobile enough in your ankles, you should be able to roll back your hips and get to a deep squat, right? So basically a deep squat is kind of a good measurement that your ankle mobility is optimal. So you should be able to squat down like this, like in a deep squat, rest in this position and don't feel any much tension, right? So you're supposed to sit like this, okay, again, very simple, with your back straight, and just rest here, okay? If you feel that something is not working and you're not able to get there, so sometimes it happens that your heels going off the ground, or your knees crushing in, or you feel unstable, that means that you need to start working again on your ankles first, see that your mobility is aligned there and that you're kind of both mobile and flexible in the same time. So again, get to this optimal movement pattern, right? So you can practice this with a simple exercise. Make sure that you can get to a deep squat properly, rest here, and then you can start working up the chain on your knees, on your hips, and everything that comes up. All right? Guys, hope it was helpful, hope it makes sense. Again, practice this exercise at home. It will help you both with your squatting pattern It will help you prevent different ankle injuries because it's not a muscle that it's not something, it's such a small joint that we don't pay attention to, but it's super important because that's the first joint that comes in touch with the ground. We're walking a lot, so it's kind of activated. And when we sit, unfortunately, when the hamstrings and the calves getting tight, your ankle is not very active, right? That's it for today. Hope it was helpful. Again, any questions, let me know, and have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.